All right, I'll do the quick intro. All right, guys, what is going on? This is Becker. Welcome to the second webinar of OMG 2017. We have a shit ton of people on, so do not leave your seat. If you leave your seat, you will be attacked by baboons at your house. It is illegal, but we don't care. So that being said, guys, welcome. Again, if you didn't watch the first webinar, what we're doing this week is we're sitting down with a group of SEOs. Every single SEO you're going to hear from tonight is generating over $1 million per year. If you're in coding grammar, you're generating over almost $1 million per month, which is more than enough to, you can buy 1 million things off the dollar menu. You could buy 1 million things off the dollar menu at Wendy's. You could fill like 8 buses full of chicken nuggets and bring it to my house. That'd be pretty cool, don't you think?
I will try that.
That's what we need to do. But anyways, guys, every SEO in this webinar is generating over $1 million per year. And today, we're going to be sitting down, and they're going to be showing you their favorite tactics, what's working in Google, what's ranking. And if you look at the last webinar we had almost 500 comments, people going absolutely nuts. And the one thing I also want to add, a lot of people ask, when is OMG closing down this week? And as you guys know, this week is like the last time this year you have a chance to hop in OMG. We only do this once a year. That being said, Thursday night after the final webinar, we will be closing up OMG, and that is your last chance to join. We'll talk about it a little bit more in the webinar. For now, just enjoy the sweet sounds of cotton grammar.
Hey guys, how's it going? It's Cotton Grammar. We're going to get it started tonight, and what I want to see is where everyone's from tonight. If you haven't listened to them, we're in the SourceWave group. We are standing by. We can add you in. Post where you're from, and Samir, calm down, man. Stay on point. We're only going to answer questions about the lesson tonight. If you're asking random questions about SEO, just chill. There's plenty of time for that. We got Serbia, Jersey, everywhere. Want to see where everyone's from. We have about, we're going to probably get about 600 people on tonight. A lot of people. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get a rundown while we're seeing where everyone's from. Becker, you could have a stalker pretty close to you there. I see this Tucker guy.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
All right.
Happens. But what we're going to do tonight is I've got Fletch and Joe Marfolio on right now. These guys are lead generation wizards. And there's obviously more than one way to make money doing search engine optimization. And these guys are the master of lead gen. And we're going to have them on tonight. Joe Marfolio is going to give you a little brief lesson about lead generation. It's literally going to blow your mind. And then I'm going to show you something that I've done that's literally brought down the house in OMG. It's one of the top 5 lessons of last year. It's called looping. I'm going to show you how I hijack sites and redirect traffic over to them, even from the NFL. And it's legal, and you can do it. So this is going to blow your mind tonight. So I would literally clear out everything you're doing. Lock your kids away in the basement if you got any. If not, push your parents out, lock them in the car, whatever you got to do. We're going to drop it hard tonight. What I want to do is introduce my guest with me tonight. Joe Marfolio, are you with me, man? What's up?
Hey, Cotton. I'm here, man, ready to go.
Yeah, Joe is not as fortunate as I am being in Miami, Florida. He is in cold Colorado. What's the temperature over there, Joe?
I don't know. It's probably about 18 degrees or so. So it is pretty chilly, man.
Me and Gregory Ortiz will be sporting short sleeves tonight. 75 degrees is low tonight here.
Oh, man, nice.
That's right. And we have Fletch. Fletch, what's up, man?
Hey, I think I'm live here, Cotton. I'm good, man. Things are
good.
Yeah, it's not cold here in Phoenix, so
absolutely not.
So pants on, but
of course. In case you didn't hear last night, I'm going to go through a little bit before I hand it over to Joe. We're not going to keep you very long tonight. These are going to be super short, tight lessons. Pay attention very close. If you need to watch anything over again, we're going to talk pretty quickly. You can get it on the replay. But a lot of people asked, why OMG? You can go learn search engine optimization anywhere. And it's pretty simple, because we make 95% of our money making money, and we come back 2 hours a week. You see, I don't make my money from coaching. There's no money in that. One-on-one coaching is a broken business model. Even as good as I am at teaching people search engine optimization, and I've taught over 10,000 people at this point, at $1,000 an hour, you can't afford it. There's $8,000 a day, $32,000 a month, or $150,000 a month. Please, I do that every 4 or 5 days. So we're not making money off coaching. There's not enough time to research and development. You can't fill your day up with 8 hours. It's a broken business model. What we're going out and doing is you're going to hear from Fletch tonight, the #1 digital marketing agency in Phoenix, Arizona. You can Google Phoenix SEO, #1. He's right there. You're going to hear from Joe Marfolio tonight, master of lead gen, and literally he is a YouTube wizard inside of OMG. He has a software that if you get inside of OMG that is proprietary just to OMG that'll blow your effing mind. And then you're going to hear from me tonight. What I do is if you really want to know a little bit about me, search Chicago SEO, Memphis SEO, New Orleans SEO, Orlando SEO, St. Louis SEO, Miami SEO, and I could get tired of all the cities that go on that I rank #1, and not just overnight. I've held these positions for 2 effing years. That's right, longevity. That's what we try to build in OMG, is to make sure our rankings stick. If we're going to rank something, we want them to stick. Black hat tricks come and go. Listen, if you have people like Bob Proctor as your client, you certainly don't want to use fucking black hat techniques on them. You're going to get them de-indexed, and you're going to get put in the news, and you're going to go broke. You really want to know how to make money, how the real people do in Fortune 500 companies, you come to OMG, we show you the processes. We show you how to get stuff done. We show you how to hire people. We show you how to build a real business, not do tricks online. Anyone can do tricks. So what we're going to start out tonight is a little bit of lead gen lesson, and I'm going to throw this over to Joe Marfolio and Fletch. And Joe, you need the screen, don't you? And while we're waiting for Joe to unmute, Joe always does this. Joe's my partner on a lot of webinars. He can never figure out that mute button. I want you guys to give me #ready, that you're ready to get this off and started right now. You're ready to hear about some lead gen, then I'm going to follow you back up and show you how we can hijack some stuff. Joe, did you figure out that mute button yet?
I got it. I was grabbing the screen at the same time. So
of course you did, Joe. Of course you did.
You should be able to see my screen right now.
We certainly can. We certainly can. Take it away, Joe.
Okay, guys. So I'm going to, like Cotton said, this is going to be pretty quick. I'm actually going to go into a lesson that Fletch and myself did in OMG a few months back on lead generation. Now, I want to ask you guys a couple of questions just to get a feel for who's here. How many of you have heard of lead generation or rank and rent? Just give me a 1. If you haven't heard of it, give me a 2. That way I know where you guys are at with this stuff. I know probably everybody has heard of it. It's basically, you know, lead generation. You put up a site and you sell leads, or you rent that site out to somebody else. So it looks like everyone has heard of it. Let me ask you this. How many people here have done it and are successful? Give me, I have. If you have done it and are successful, but if you've tried it, or you're unsuccessful, what's the reason, right? So I just want to see where we're at here, because I know the idea sounds great, and a lot of people have tried it, and there's a few obstacles that they run into almost every time. You know, I've been coaching for about 3 years, so as Fletch has been coaching longer than me, and we've both been doing lead gen for over 5 years. So there's nothing, that we haven't seen. Just getting started in IF. So we have a few people that have. In the question box here, we have some people here who said they couldn't make it work. Well, there's a couple of reasons why. One is, if you do happen to get your site ranked, you have to sell the leads, right? And then if you're just starting out, sometimes maybe you don't have a lot of income, maybe you're shy to call clients, and you have a difficulty renting out the site or selling the leads. The other thing is getting your site to rank or getting it to stay up, because there's a lot of tactics, like Cotton said, that are fast tactics. You put up a site with thousands of pages and it ranks for a few months and then it stops ranking. How do we get that site to stay up there and stick there? And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about, is how to create a business online. I'm gonna actually show you right now how to create a 6-figure business online that if you follow what I tell you, it could be created within 6 months, and it probably won't cost you more than a couple of $1,000s. And I'm not building some spammy lead gen site or some quick fix site. What I'm doing is I'm going to talk about how to build a branded business. You got to think of, when you're thinking of lead gen, you got to think of a brand, and that you're actually building a business, not just, some quick site. Because when you think about it, brands, if I said junk removal, right, what are most of you going to think about right now? Think of as a company, you're going to think about 1-800-GOT-JUNK because, they branded themselves so well. If you type in junk removal anywhere, in the country, 1-800-GOT-JUNK is probably going to come up number one, and that's because their brand is so strong. Google knows that, hey, these guys are the premier junk removal. They're going to rank them everywhere. If you make Google think that your lead gen site is the premier national company for whatever your niche is, you're going to see that your rankings are going to rank, you're going to rank all over the place. But you have to do it a certain way. Now, a couple of things I want to show you guys. First, I'm going to go through this again pretty quick. How many of you have heard of CPA, or cost per action? I know probably being at Source University, a few of you guys have heard of it, and I'm not going to get into it right now too much. Yes, I have. What it is, it's basically where you go to where companies will pay you for an action. Say if someone fills out an email on your website, you can make a couple of bucks, right? And there's different CPA networks out there that you could sign up to, and there's a site that's called offervault.com. And this is where all the CPA networks post the offers that they have. So it's kind of like a huge network. Now, they have all kinds of offers, but the offers I like in here are the pay per call. So what this is, you go in here, you could find people willing to pay you for a phone call, and they're willing to sometimes pay a lot of money. For instance, for drug rehab, they're willing to pay $120 for one phone call, right? And then here, home security, you're looking at about $65. Lawyers $6, tax relief $60, and it goes on and on through these networks. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into building a little. Let's say we're going to build a little business, say a mold removal business, right? So let's say mold removal, right? We'll go in here, we'll search it. Let's see if there's any offers in here. And it's coming up. So, all right, so we have a couple of offers for mold removal. So we have $32 a call for water or fire damage, which is in the mold removal niche. Then we got like $11 and $7 for a phone call. Now, this isn't a ton of money, $11, even $32 for this niche, and I'll show you in a minute. That is not that much money. But if you're just starting out, right, and you want to make money right away, this is a great way that when you put your site up or put a video up, you put a phone number on there, you could start getting paid right away without having a client. And by doing this, right, if you record the phone calls, when you go to get a client, you could say, listen, here's the leads that we've been getting in over the past month, and you could give them the recordings of those leads, right, that were going to this network that they were closing because they're professionals at closing, these kinds of deals or water damage quotes or whatever. So they're probably going to close a lot of them, and you're getting paid at the same time. All right, so that kind of solves one of the first problems we have, is getting paid. The other thing you want to think of when you're doing lead gen is obviously the niche. Okay, I really like the emergency niche. I really like the construction niche, because if someone's looking for water damage, they just want to they want to call somebody, right? They want to call somebody right away. My website doesn't have to be fancy. They're not going to really look into who I am. If I look like I know what I'm doing, if I look like I'm upstanding, they're going to call me. Now, if it's a dentist, if it's a lawyer, or something like that, they're going to want to know where you're located. They're going to want to know, well, who are you, and all this other stuff. So it's not impossible. People do it, but it's a little more difficult. So okay, so now we took care of the first one, getting paid. How do we set up the site? Now, in the past when we did lead gen sites, and I've seen people do it where they create like a site for each city, like San Diego mold removal, or Dallas mold removal, and you can do that. But what you're doing, if you do that, you're wasting a lot of your resources, and you're not building that brand. So what I actually did, and we did this live on a webinar a few months back. This is a site I built, and guys, this is a basic site, It's really stripped down. I built it really quick, so don't look at it as, you know, oh, this isn't a good looking site, the content doesn't make a lot of sense or whatever. I just built it on the fly, but I put the proper structure in it, and that's what's important, is the structure to get it to rank. So the first thing is we have our brand name. Very first thing I did was thought of a name, Precision Mold Removal, and I bought that URL. The name doesn't have to be anything special, but just make it brandable, right? I could do Mold Removal Pros, but that's, you know, that's not really a brand. But like, you can do Precision Mold Removal, Green Guys Mold Removal, whatever you want. But as long as it's a brand, it can be recognized. Then on the site, I got my home page, I got my content page, mold damage, right? Mold inspection. These are just some keywords. I got an about us, and then I got a location page, right? So now when we go to these location pages, here's the key. We go down and we look at this page. I have in the URL San Diego, right? Now I'm not stuffing this. And again, when I'm doing this, I'm keeping in mind that I'm a national brand. What would a national brand do? What would a franchise do, right? So I put in San Diego right here, but yet I still have my keyword, mold removal, in the URL. So that works. I don't have to stuff that. Then I come down here. This is my San Diego page, so I actually treat this like it's the home page for San Diego. So the content's on San Diego mold removal. I have an image here. I have a video. This is unique content. I know there's things, well, oh, you don't need unique content. You do, whatever. I just do it because this site's going to be making me, you know, 6 figures a year. What's $20 for a page for San Diego to be extra safe? Nothing. So this is, you know, this would be unique content. And then the sidebar right here, right, I have the address, a San Diego address, I have a phone number, and I have a specific email for San Diego. And then right here, I have a map embed for my location. Then I have links out to my social sites for San Diego. So everything about this site, this page, I mean, is branded for San Diego. And my main keyword obviously is San Diego mold removal. But what about if I want to go after some other keywords like mold damage repair and mold inspection? Well, you know, do I have to, if I want to rank this in 30 cities, do I have to go out and make 30 mold damage repair pages for, you know, 30 mold inspection pages, like one for each city? No, not at all. You know, all I usually do, and this works about 80% of the time, unless it's super competitive, is I put a link on the main page, the San Diego page, to my mold testing and inspection page, or my mold repair page, or whatever that extra keyword is for that extra service. I put a link on this city page. And what happens is Google picks that up when it crawls it, and it ranks me for these terms. So now if I go right here and I go to this Los Angeles page, right, which it's I don't have any content on here right now, which is fine, but what I want you to see is I want you to see the sidebar is different. See, the sidebar has a Los Angeles address, Los Angeles phone number, Los Angeles email, Los Angeles embed, and then obviously if I put the content, it would be geared towards Los Angeles. So this page is all about Los Angeles, but it's unique. It's not sharing the same phone number, the same address. You know, it's unique to itself. And the other thing I want to show you real quick is what I'll do a lot of times is at the bottom, depending on the niche, I may put in all the separate cities. Now, so it ranks in multiple cities or sub-cities in the, you know, in San Diego. The now the thing to notice here is I don't have Alpine mold removal, you know, or Chula Vista, California mold removal, because that would look spammy. But if I have the address, the cities here, the sub-cities, that looks normal, right? We service San Diego and all surrounding areas such as this. And if I have the name here, a lot of times that's all I need to rank for that sub-city. Now, depending on the niche, on competition, you may have to do some extra work, but for most niches, this works just fine. So let me go in here, and sorry guys, I'm going pretty quick, but I want to make sure I show you guys everything I got here. So first off here, many times people look at the keyword planner, and the keyword planner is, in my opinion, horribly off on the average searches per month. So some people get into this lead gen and be like, oh, there's no searches, so it's a crappy keyword. I mean, you just have to look at it. Right here, plumber San Diego, plumber Los Angeles. San Diego has about 1.3 million people. Los Angeles has about 3.8 million people. Yet they're both getting 1,000 searches a month for plumber San Diego, right? That doesn't make any sense, right? It's obviously much higher than that, and obviously these two numbers are going to be very different. But what we do see is, remember I was talking about the sub-cities. If you look at plumber Pasadena, plumber Hollywood, these are sub-cities of Los Angeles. They are getting, they're getting some volume of traffic, but my bet is they're getting way more than this. But what I want to show you is this right here, right? The suggested bid. Now this is pretty accurate. If anything, this is lower. And what this is many of you may know it's AdWords. And when you search for plumber San Diego or plumber whatever, you're going to have 3 ads on the top, and you have to pay to be there. And it's a bidding system. So say if I say, okay, I'm willing to pay $50, and Joe's Plumbing down the road's willing to pay $51, the cost to be on top of Google, on top of those ads, is going to be about $51. And plumbers pay this all day long. That's why this number is so high. And if we look at the niche we're in, water damage restoration, holy crap, $116. So this means that a water damage company is going to pay Google $116 for a click to their website. Not for a phone call, not for a lead, not for a job, simply a click over to their website. So that means if they got 20 clicks, it'll cost them more than $2,000, and they could not even get a phone call off of that. So I mean, this is some pretty high numbers. And so imagine this: if you can go to a water damage company, a mold removal company, and tell them, listen, I have a phone call that you can, that I'm going to send you a phone call. Here's a list of recorded phone calls of your competition getting the jobs. What's this worth, right? They're going to pay $200, $300 for that, for water damage. For mold, it's going to be $75, $80. Now, that's a big difference from this, right? Well, of course, because here you're selling it wholesale, but this gets you up and running, and then you can get the bigger money right here. This right here, I'm just showing you right here, is some rankings of one of my sites. Let me just see if we can get this bigger. And I blurred out the niche on here just because I don't want everybody knowing that this niche that I'm in particular. But just to show you I know what I'm talking about, here is San Diego. You're going to see in this niche I take up 3 spots on the first page, and then you see in the sub-cities, if you know in San Diego there's smaller towns, and they're actually each pretty large, couple of 100,000 people in each. I'm ranking #1 in all of them. If you look in Los Angeles, Pasadena, Hollywood, Gardenia, all those I'm ranking #1. And the way I did it is exactly how I'm going to show you right now. So, so here we are. So I'm going to show you exactly how I set up the link structure for this site. So here we have precision mold removal. That's the home page, right? This is going to be the home page. Now, what this is a link, and then in the menu bar we link to what? The San Diego page, right? So now if I send links or whatever authority to this home page, right, obviously it's going to send juice to this San Diego page. But the other thing that I'm going to do to this San Diego page is, like I told you before, is I'm going to set this up like it's its own homepage or its own company, and really it is. Like if I'm a national brand, then that is my branch in San Diego. If I'm a franchise, that's the franchise in San Diego. That franchise or branch, what's it going to have? It's going to have a Facebook page, a YouTube channel, a Yelp page, right? All just for San Diego. And then what is it doing? It's sending links, right? The Facebook page is going to link to that page, the YouTube channel, the Yelp, the citations, just like I would do any business. I'm sending the citations to this San Diego page, just like it's an independent site. PBN links, press releases, Google My Business. So all of this is juicing up this page to help it to rank. Well, then what happens is that juice is going to flow back to the home page. It's kind of a synergy effect right here. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to have a location page, right? Now, on that location page, you're going to have the links. Okay, so for the location page, you'll have a link to the San Diego page, a link to, say, your Los Angeles page, a link to, say, your Las Vegas page. So this juice or this power that's flowing back to the home page, some of it's going to flow to this location page. And then what we're going to do is we're going to send some PBN links to this location page that's going to give this more authority. Then the next step, now don't get confused if you, because you'll be able to watch the recording of this. But next, so this juice goes to the San Diego, goes right up back to this page, right? So it's getting juice from this, then from here, then each additional page, right, repeats that same process. So what's happening, by the time you get to the third or fourth city, you're getting so much juice and so much relevance and so much brand recognition that as you add more pages and more cities, they're going to rank almost automatically. And then, for example, some of the in San Diego, all those sub-cities, you're going to start ranking in those sub-cities, without having to do anything else, because what you're doing is you're putting out brand relevance, right? You're telling Google that Precision Mold Removal is a real company. We have all these social sites. We have all these people linking to us for all these different cities, and it provides an incredible amount, of power that goes back to the sites. And it's really very simple if you just look at this diagram and break it down. So let me do this right. So
it's a lot of good information, Joe, you're giving away for free.
Yeah, I know.
You know what? If you guys are blown away by this so far with what he's showing you, because Joe is a master at lead generation. He makes 6 figures a month. It's this sort of stuff. Give me hashtag blown away. I mean, to see a diagram like that, how it gets it done, you've never quite seen it broken down like that before. It always blows me away that we give this for free, that like this is the sort of stuff that we're comfortable giving away for free, because we have literally hundreds and hundreds of other stuff inside of OMG that we teach. So if you guys were smart, you're taking screenshots. I mean, literally, I'm watching the Facebook page, and for those of you that aren't participating, saying blown away, you guys need to be doing hashtag blown away. Please continue, Joe.
Right. Yeah, and I know I'm going pretty quick, but let me show you guys something. So we did this demo, right, about 6 months ago. I'd say 6-7 months ago, and I just built this out just to show people how to create the structure. I wasn't even trying to rank it. As you can tell, the site is pretty bland. So, and obviously we went into more depth on that inside the training that we did. Let's go to Google, right? Let's look up San Diego mold removal, right? Now when we go down here, okay, I'm not on page 1, but let me show you something. And if I go to more places, I don't know if you guys see that right here, right? If I click on this, this is my site right here, right? So at this site, this stripped down site is actually right now number 4 in the maps, and it goes from number 3 to number 4, so it goes on and off of page 1. But here's the other thing, right, is I didn't make this map. I did not make this Google Places. I did not pay some guy to make this. I did not fabricate an address and send in for a Google My Business card or any of that crap. What happened is
Joe?
Google did. Google did.
Now, I want you to hear that, guys. I want you to give me hashtag Google. This is what we talk about, our perfect process inside of OMG. Exactly what Joe showed you, the structure of the site, how it was built, how the link juice flows, how everything is done. Fucking Google created this Google My Business. That's what I want you guys to get away with this. It's incredible. So now that's when you know you have the perfect process. When Google says, listen, whoever you are over there in the cubicle, this precision mold removal, get a fucking step up on it and let's create this Google My Business for this guy. He doesn't know what he's doing, but it's good stuff. So, Joe, how long did it take before they actually built this for you?
I think it took about a month or two before they made this, but it's all about that brand recognition, right? They recognize the brand because you do things when you do things right. So yeah, and so I mean they made this. We're gonna obviously claim it and everything else. But here's the thing. So this year, what we're gonna do is we're gonna actually take this site, this precision mold removal. We're gonna do it over the shoulder, and we're gonna show you exactly how to build this site out. I mean, I'm gonna show you how I go on guru.com and how I hire a web guy for under $300 to build me a site, how I'm going to get my content, where I'm going to get my images, how I'm going to get my videos made, how I'm going to rank those videos, how this site is going to be ranking for every sub-city in every major city, just like that ranking report I showed you. This is one of the over-the-shoulders that we're doing next year.
Incredible stuff, Joe. You know, showing this, sometimes I always think we show a little too much, and we still got more to go. Like, if you guys are really blown away by this, you've seen what we call our perfect process of how we do stuff, time, true, tested, over and over again. If you want to get your hands on stuff like this, and if you're just blown away by it, give me #mindblown, because that's part one of the mind blown. I told Becker that we were really going to bring it tonight. But when Google creates your own Google My Business, you know that you're doing the process right. Now, that's who I want to do mine. Now, I've never had it happen to me. I don't do lead gen. I'm strictly clients. Joe is our specialist with this sort of stuff, and this is what you've seen tonight. Now, I know that it looked a little simple. The site looked like that, but there's a lot of really, really valuable information in what he says. Joe's very sneaky about how he teaches it. You like seeing to where if you know what an EMD is, that link was what we call a PMD, a partial match domain. We had all of the keywords that we needed in the link. Everything was on the page the way it should do. Joe's giving you a diagram. Literally, Joe's giving you the blueprint right now for you to go out and for you to start your own lead generation. He did it so fast, I don't think you guys even seen it. But that's what he just done. So, Joe, thank you so much for showing that to how people can make money from lead generation, how they can capture multiple cities and do it the right way. There's a lot of shortcuts out there, but one thing I do know that you and your sites always last over the course of time. And you know what, guys? Thank Joe. Give me #Joe. Thank Joe. We told you this was going to be a very, very, very fast-paced webinar. Now, next, what we got coming up right now is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the screen back. Incredible lesson from Joe. I'm going to get right back on here to the Facebook group. We got a lot of blown aways, a lot of Googles, a lot of #Joes, and either you guys are asleep out there or you're not impressed. You should be. Just kind of show your respect to Joe. Let me see it just rain #Joes right here for what he's shown you. Now, while you guys are taking the time to do that, what I want to talk about next is this. OMG is really all about search engine optimization, but that's really not true. And you're going to find that out on the third webinar, and you're going to find that a little bit out right now. What we really are about is we're about organic traffic. Doesn't matter how it happens, organic traffic. We don't really, now there's nothing wrong with buying ads or that. If that's your, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But we really don't focus on that a lot. We let other people do that. There's plenty of experts out there doing it. We're the organic traffic experts. Now, I have I've got about 167 clients, and I have a lot of Fortune 500 companies. I have a lot of A-list people. Some of them I can't even name. And They come to me and they don't give a shit about how many people are searching for a keyword. So what that means is I want you to think about this. So I'm going to bring this up right now. Where are we at? We're at the keyword planner right here. And where they're at right now is, as you can see right here, we're kind of bound by these numbers. So if we can look, if I want people to search more for me, you know, I'm only getting 1,600 people search for me a month for my name under the name Cotton Grammar. Then one of the cities that I rank #1 for, Chicago SEO, there's 2,400 searches there for people searching for that particular keyword. Now, I want you to participate with me and follow along because I want to see what you have to say and see how smart you are. I think you're a pretty smart crowd. How would you go about getting more organic traffic than this? If I wanted to break outside the boundaries of 2,400 searches a month, how would you do it? How would you do it if you rank #1? Let's just say that you already rank #1 for Chicago SEO. How would you break that barrier and get more searches? I've posted in the Facebook group if you know. If you want to know the answer, give me #show me. Because what I'm going to show you tonight is how I break keyword planner barriers. If I see that there are a list of what normal keywords are, I kind of say, fuck it. Let's roll. Let's see what we can do. So search engine optimization, I'm great at. You guys have seen it all before. I wanted to give you guys something very, very different. And I'm just talking about for this one particular keyword. And if I get about 40 or 50 show-me's, I'm going to break it down and I'm going to show you something I call looping and hijacking. And this is something that I do to push massive amount, keeping the same keyword. I want to make this clear. Keeping the same keyword, how would I push more people into my site? If I'm boxed in and know that the limit is about 2,400 a month, and we can look here, 4,300 searches in April, you know, there's a lot of it, and now it's a little lower. So Chicago can get up to 6,000 searches, but, you know, if I want to break these barriers, how do I do that? Well, I sat and I thought about it. I've had people like the Proctor Gallagher Institute, the Robbins Institute, all these other people just come to me and they sit and they say, listen, we need more traffic. We're not going to pay for it. How do you help us? Well, that's really not in my job description, but these are big, giant people. You know, when you're dealing with people like this, I have to produce. So I sat and I went into about 2 or 3 weeks worth of research and development, and I came out with this particular answer because I was like, you know, how can I bust out of these numbers that Google gives me because I need more. So even when we go to myself, hold on, that was Chicago. Here, what do we got here? So with this, I'm going to show you very, very, very slowly a couple things, and I'm going to do it very, very, very quickly, and I want you to pay attention because this right here is going to be worthwhile you showing up tonight, maybe showing up to any webinar over the next month. So what I went out is I found something called Buffer. Give me a 2 if you guys have heard of Buffer. Give me a 3 if you've heard of it and used it. Give me a 1 if you've got no clue. I want to see everyone on here. If you got Buffer. So let me see here. So we've got some people never heard of it. Some people, we've only got 1 person so far that's used it. No one's heard of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to push organic traffic anywhere you want to push it. And it's literally an ingenious way. So, well, pretty much people have heard of it but not used it. Buffer is essential. I'm going to share with you why Buffer is essential and why you should be using it. Well, for one reason, I use it as kind of like a gun. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit later, where it's shooting out stuff for me. And what it is Buffer allows you to connect 10 social media accounts up here. And if you see, I've got my Facebook page, Twitter, my Google Plus page. And what it does is it allows me to keep my social media profiles relevant and loaded with good content. Let's face it, I don't have time to post current and niched out content every day to my social media. That's just ridiculous. My time and my money can be spent somewhere else. Second of all, I'm not going to hire anybody, or am I going to pay any girl, unless I'm banging her, to put and post social media stuff up there. It's just not going to happen. So what did I do? Buffer. Now, I want you to follow me now. I found a site called Q. Now, what Q is pretty incredible. Q is hand-curated content. Now, I'm going to go ahead and log in, and I want to show you. First thing you do is you get a Buffer account. You sign up with Buffer first. You go to Q. You connect with Buffer. Then what happens is I allow access, and it brings you in, and now you can look at all the categories that they have. Now, what people do is I want you to look at all the categories they've got. AdWords, accountancy. They've got all these articles down here. Let's look at some of the ones that I've selected right here. 1,200 articles from marketing. They've got men's lifestyle, men's fitness, metaphysical. They've got every niche you can dream of on here that you can select. Notice 314 SEO. This. Now, what it does is it feeds these articles into Buffer, and Buffer pushes it out to my social media. So if we were to go to Facebook very quickly, I'm going to show you. This is all going to tie in together and blow you away. So what I've done here is when we look, let's just click on the first one here, which is going to be probably my Miami SEO. And if we'll look, what it's got right here is 4 hours ago, it posted an article. Now, it says social is easy if you have and a click right here to go over to it. If you notice, now my content is there. It's active. If people want to look at it, they can come through and see that I'm active. But the number one reason I want you to do this is simply this. And I want to show you. We're going to go to my name right now. And here's what I discovered that it also does is, for some reason, it's not on this. You know what? Let me get into Safari. Chrome is just so jacked up right now. I don't really ever use it anymore for searching. TONGRAMER. Well, come on. Hold on. So when you search my name, you're going to see something that's a little unusual right here is I have a Twitter carousel. Now, how would you like to have a Twitter carousel for your own name also? For online reputation management purposes, for branding purposes, I want you to give me right here, give me a 1. Just give me a 1 if like you would like to have a Twitter carousel. I'm going to show you how to do that in 10 seconds if I get about 25 of these fly in. Now, what you do is it's pretty simple. Now, Buffer is $10 a month, Q's $10 a month, $20 a month. All I do is I connect my Twitter. If you do 2 posts a day after about 35, 40 days, and if your Twitter account is your brand name or your name, like I have Cotton Grammar in mind, when we go back over to this, we can see Cotton Grammar Twitter right here. We can see that it's right there. So it's going to show it. It automatically starts popping up. That's it. That's simple. That's the main reason that you start connecting these two together. Another reason is we're going to combine a lot of lessons here. So I showed you how you can get a Twitter carousel. Connect your Twitter, get Buffer, get Q, hook them together, pick out some relevant content in Q, shove it in your Twitter feed, and in 35, 40 days, you're going to get a carousel that's going to show up looking like that, and you can also do it for clients. Now, another reason that I'm showing you this is Becker also wanted me to show you a client getting tactic. What I just showed you right here is how to manage your own social media and other people's social media. And you can charge whatever you want, and you can do it now for $20 a month. Q's 10, Buffer's 10. It's a foot in the door. It's what I call SEO splitting. You can run into businesses. You can charge as little as you want. You can charge $150, $200. I would do nothing less than $300 to $500. But who is managing, let's look at this, 10 social media accounts right here for that price? You get your foot in the door with the business. You do nothing. You set it and forget it. That's easy. I'm not going to show you how to use Buffer and Q, but I'm giving you the formula that I put together to do this. So what I've done is I've showed you 2 things so far, and we're going to get to the other one. So one, I've showed you how you can do SEO splitting, open up with clients, do social media management, set it, forget it, less than $20 a month. Should be fucking blown away by that. Secondly, I've shown you by doing this, you're going to get a Twitter carousel show up over 35 to 40 days. By the way, you're an idiot not to do it for yourself. So there's 2. Now we're going to go to 3. Of why I even introduced you to Buffer altogether. Because remember what I told you, Buffer's like a gun. I want Buffer to shoot out to all these social media sites, but why do I want Buffer to do that? Well, what I want to show you is basically this. I'm going to go up right here, and I'm going to post a brand new thing right up here, and I want it to pull up, and we'll see right here. Now, what I want you guys to do is I want you to, look, this is the NFL.com. Now, I want you to go back to this Facebook group, and what I want you to do is I want you to click on that link right there. This is the NFL.com. I want you to click on that link, and once you click on the link, what I want you to do is come back here, and I want you to tell me what the hell you see. I want everyone to click on that link and tell me what you see. What is different about that page? What is different about that page? I want to see before I start doing it. This is what I call hijacking. Hijacking. So I want you to click on it. So I'm going to click on it for you right now. So now look what we've got. NFL.com, what do we have over to the right? We have Cotton Grammar Internet Media, get more traffic for your business. I've just fucking hijacked an NFL site. Where's it going? This is leading right here. It's going to lead right back to my site. Now, if you go back to my site, and if you've been there, this is what I call looping. Then I've also got a pop-up that comes up. It's not going to do it for me. A pop-up that I'm catching people for push notifications. So there's going to be a pop-up notification. It's going to come up that looks like this on my site. Mine doesn't do it, asking you if you want to receive notifications. And I've also been able to capture over 15,000 leads and people for my push list that now I can push out to anytime. So now, what I just showed you is how to hijack. I'm going to show you exactly how it's done and how powerful it is. It's a company, and I know the owner. I've been talking to him a lot. It's called Sniply. And Sniply is literally one of the most powerful things that I've ever used before. And if we can look right here at one of the ones I post right now, I've been able to build my Snapchat account up to 15,000 people because of this. Look at all these clicks I've got. You know, I'm going to show you exactly how I'm doing it. 11,000 clicks of free organic traffic coming over to my site. And all I'm doing is simply this. I can go anywhere. Let me go to CNN. Let me see what's going on here. I'm going to hijack CNN. So Trump's New World Order. Let's just click on the first thing that I see. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my Sniply button right here that I've got. I've already got my campaign set up for Sniply. What I do right now is I'm going to hijack CNN, snip it, copy it, and I can do the same thing. I can come back right over here. Let me get out of that. I can post it right here again. Hold on. And you can once see that now I have hijacked in a couple little things that I have hijacked CNN. We'll click on the link, come right back over to it, and right there I am. I've hijacked this. Now, I'm going to bring all this together. How many of you are on Facebook and see every idiot that you know posting articles left and right everywhere? CNN, NFL stuff, how to put on makeup, how to eat better, workouts, this and that. What you're doing is if you're sharing relevant content right now, what you can do is you can hijack that particular page. I've never found the use for sharing stuff until recently. And now what I do is I sneak into other specialized Facebook groups and I share content they want to fucking read. And I hijack the page. When it's an article written by CNN, I'll share it and they're clicking back to my site and I'm creating organic traffic by the thousands. Now, what I want is if you want me to keep going, give me hashtag mindblown, because if you're not mind blown right now, you don't have a pulse with everything that I've just shown you over the last few moments. And by the way, this is stuff that we're no longer going to use in OMG. Imagine what we've got inside of OMG that we can show you. So if we don't get, we've got about 600 people on, we should be getting a ton of hashtag mind blowns by everything that I've showed you right now. So what I've shown you how to do right now is stop wasting time sharing content that isn't going to benefit you. Now, I just shown you also how to generate a ton of organic traffic. I've got the proof right here on my dashboard. I've got 11,000 clicks from sharing one fucking article. That is it. That's it. Now, imagine that. If you share the right content, I got all those clicks back to my website. What do you think that Google is going to reward me with now that I've got all those clicks coming back to cottongrammar.com? You see, the thing about it is with SEO, guys, is there's too many fucking SEO gurus out there that stay inside the box. Link, PBNs. We're so far ahead of the curve right now in organic traffic that if you don't get inside of OMG, you're literally going to be a year behind what everyone else is doing, what I'm doing for top-tier clients, and I just showed you a simple tactic that we could give away. So what it is, Sniply is the name of the company. Sniply. S-N-P-L-Y. S-N-I-P.L-Y. I don't do affiliate links. I never sell anything. I don't. But if you add all the stuff together, I just gave you a client getting lesson. I gave you an SEO splitting lesson. I've shown you how to get a Twitter carousel. And I've just shown you how to hijack any site in the world and put an overlay on it to send it back to you. And I can promise you, when people see it, they're going to go, what the hell is this? Let me click on it and send it right back. Now, Fletch, I'm sorry that we haven't got a chance to talk to you a lot. I don't know if you've ever seen me do this lesson before, but what do you think, Fletch?
No, I actually haven't seen the lesson. I kind of poked around a little bit and, you know, seen what you were doing, but man, yeah, no, it's powerful, dude. Super powerful.
Yeah. Now, this lesson alone is what I'm trying to tell you right now. If people say, what's the value in OMG? And if you really need to ask at this point, with this, what we've shown you on this webinar, check your polls. Check your polls. Becker, anything you want to add before I just kind of go in and show a little bit about the members area and stuff?
That was stupid simple, and it's just funny because I'm in the members area all the time checking all the new stuff coming in. And it's just crazy the stuff that you give away, like people's minds get blown by it, and like it's just like the tip of the iceberg, you know? So it's just kind of funny. Everyone's like, this is insane, oh my God. And it's kind of like a bunch of people walking by a strip club and seeing someone poke a foot out the door and like going nuts and insane and be like, wait till you get inside, man. Just you wait, you know? So yeah. OMG, like a strip club. Put it on the site.
What we continue to try to do is I don't want to get caught in the boundaries of these numbers. And so I spent the last 6 months trying to find out how to break out of those numbers and give clients and other people, especially top-tier clients, more organic traffic. And when they get it, they love you. They stay with you forever. They're like, they're doing.
Did I also pick up? You know, I'm sure you're about to show this, but like the really cool thing about OMG is like not only is this like the tip of the iceberg and you got all this cool info inside, but it's not just info. It's just like results driven. So when you're able to share, like here in a second, like there's gonna be something that Con's gonna show you in a second. This is the only program on earth where you'll see almost like 200 something people saying this program's worth 100K. It changed my life. Best decision I ever made. You won't even see that many people talk. Like try and find people talking about college that way. But the info inside, the stuff underneath the iceberg that we're talking about, the tip of the iceberg, that's what's driving it. If you think this stuff is mind-blowing now, the reason why it's so mind-blowing is this stuff actually gets results. The stuff inside is 10 times more lethal, and that's why you see so many people here in a second. And that's why I can show you hundreds of people that have joined from the SourceWave webinars that are now making 10K, 40K, some of them $1 million a year. There's one of them that joined through me named Con Grammar. He's a real cool guy. He's kind of a dick, though. He's making $1 million a month. So it's just like the stuff inside is it's just, I don't even know how to put it right now in words, but yeah, that just gets results.
Yeah, and ultimately, guys, why are we ranking things? Why are we search engine optimization guys? Traffic. That's what it's all about. What does a business need? What do you need more traffic? You know, and this is the last tip that I'm going to give you with this. You can go into so many places, and I shouldn't even do this, but you know, I want you to think about if you went into some LinkedIn groups, some Facebook groups that are specialized for certain things, and you just posted some relevant interesting content that the members are going to love. Have you ever got in trouble if you're in an SEO group and Search Engine Land come out with a really cool article and you share that article? Have you ever got kicked out of a group for that? Hell no. And just imagine if you were in with some lawyers or some other places and you happen to put some content up that they might enjoy and them start clicking back to your website. What the fuck do you think is going to happen? You're going to go broke? So what I'm saying is you always got to think outside the box. What everyone's doing, you know what, let the sheep go one direction, the wolf's going another one. And that's what I've always believed. But we've shown you enough right now. I've like given you enough hints to take you down the line right now. Hopefully you've enjoyed the lesson. What I'd like to do is just kind of show you exactly what's inside of OMG right now. And you know what? A lot of people say, what is No Holds Barred NHB 2017? And, you know, we have a minimum of 3 live webinars weekly. You're going to get a whole lot more than that. You know, I'm not going to go through all these. We went through them last night. I'm going to watch a replay, but people are just mind blown by all their webinars. They kind of feel maybe like you do right now because we like to keep it high energy. We like to show you stuff. We like to make sure that you are literally, that your blood is boiling when you get out of these, ready to make money with all these saying. We don't ask for people to post that. They're willingly posting these inside the private Facebook group about how blown away they are and how they would even, I'm still serious, there's people that would pay double to be inside of OMG once they got in there. You know what, we're going to just briefly show you a little bit about what the live webinars are. Then we're going to talk about what's inside of OMG, and then we're going to wrap it for the night. Didn't want to keep you very long. But Fletch, you start us out on Sundays, and tell us a little bit about your live webinars and what people can expect when they get on there on Sundays. I know you were an inspiration for me when I first started your information. You've been with OMG now for 4 years running, and you're kind of like one of the pillars that hold up the whole group with your information. What can they look forward to?
Yeah, no, Sundays are fun, Cotton. It's really kind of a fast and furious Q&A. We get to ask a bunch of questions, lots of answers. I let people see kind of behind the scenes on a lot of sites that I'm ranking and building, you know, businesses based on. I don't know of any other place you can go and you know, see, you know, logging into a site that's ranking #1 for 100 keywords and see how you know, the pages are put together and all that kind of thing. So, you know, that plus, you know, just Q&A from the training videos that we got. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. You know, I'm pretty impersonal. I wear flannel. You get to see me face to face, and yeah, I like meeting up with people in OMG on Sundays.
Sounds great, and you can look forward every Sunday. You're going to get Fletch. Only place you could get them. Mondays, guys, you like heard where that was. You get Greg Morrison in OMG. You heard about Greg and his SEO stuff. If you haven't watched replay, do it. You get Greg every Monday. It's absolutely mind-bending. You don't get a chance to ask him questions anywhere else. And he stays on as many questions as there are. The most complicated questions get answered. Tuesdays, if you're into physical products, you're going to find a little bit about the physical product end of it. You're going to get to meet Liz Herrera, who literally makes millions of dollars doing physical products. And this is a bonus, man. If you're into free organic traffic and search engine optimization and social media, man, you're going to get Amazon thrown in with it. And it's going to be incredible, but because you get it for free. A whole other division that's going to map it out from A to B of how to get physical products online with Amazon. And we have our own way of doing it inside of OMG, and that's Liz Herrera's way. Now, what you just kind of got tonight, you've got a preview of what an assimilation webinar is. Joe Marfolio and myself do a simulation webinar. So you got a little bit of Joe, you got a little bit of me. This is exactly what like one of the webinars feels like with assimilation. This is our flagship webinar. This is where we bring it every week, where we show you mind-bending content that we've researched in development for months and bring it back in. But for those of you that don't know that much about SEO and really want the basics, because, you know, even with sports and everything else, if you don't know the basics, it's really hard to develop further. The first 3 to 4 months, what we do is we go from A to B as simple as possible. We've had people that are 16 years old all the way up to 60 have success. This is a webinar that we just did last week. Very low numbers for interaction, about 1,400. We've had as much as 8,000 or 9,000 with interaction. but we always have a blast. We always try to make sure that we blow your mind on every webinar. I take these very seriously. I understand how much money the course costs at $500 a month. I make sure that my content is so fucking amazing that you will go out and rob a bank to give that $500. There are people that panic, that don't have the money, that beg us, please, give us 2 more days. Just please, because they don't want to miss the content. That's how serious we take our content inside OMG. Now, inside the members area, what you're going to learn is over-the-shoulder training from people making over $100,000 a month. You're going to get the mastery of client consulting. You're going to get the mastery of search engines. We talked a little bit about it last night. There's many search engines. Affiliate marketing, you just learned a lesson from lead generation tonight. Amazon, you're going to learn a little bit about on the next webinar. E-commerce, we've started that up. We're going to have a whole massive training modules, at least 20 hours in doing e-commerce. Then we got mindset with alchemy. You know, people say the most valuable thing that we have inside of OMG is our private Facebook group where everyone posts. You can see how, you know, everyone gets excited and posts, but not only that, we have people that are all learning the same information, pushing in the same direction. You'll make lifelong friends. Some of my best friends are now, really, I don't speak to anyone unless they're in OMG, to be honest with you. They're all my friends. That's like where I hang out. That's what I do. You'll make lifelong friends. Our live events, our Facebook group, you'll be a part of it all. You know, I was crazy, and as Becker said, I asked people, is OMG worth $100,000? They all posted, yes. It's crazy. I couldn't believe it. It was really a joke, but they were serious. They decided that they would post it. And, you know, I went a step further and asked them if it was the best decision they ever made, and sure enough, they said, yeah, it's the best decision they've ever made, getting inside. So, you know, OMG Machines is there a catch. We're going to quickly go through it again. We don't offer telephone coaching. In other words, you know, there's no Skype one-on-one phone calls. We're not going to get on one-on-one telephone call with you. All of our training is through live recorded training modules inside the members area. We have thousands and thousands of hours, along with our live webinar interaction through questions and answers. Many times with Joe does hot seats with me. We bring people live on the webinar. We unmute your mic. We bring you on. We listen to your problem. We break down your business. That's what makes success, is we make sure that your processes match up with our processes. But that's the only time that we do one-on-ones is in a live webinar. Otherwise, we wouldn't have time to be successful with our business, come back and share with you our research and development that we're doing throughout the week. You know, OMG is also for the serious-minded person who wants a massive advantage and not for the person who wants it all done for them. If you're going to want to be an entrepreneur and you don't want to act like an employee when you get inside. So that's one of the things. That's one of the catches. And another one is we don't offer refunds. What we've done it for the last 5 years. It's been successful. We want you coming in with the right mindset to succeed. If you're not ready to come in to succeed, then chances are OMG is not for you. We want you to come in with the burn the boats mentality. They're going to take the island, burn the boats. It's what we want. There's no refunds. You know, OMG Machines in a full year of training and coaching and masterminding with people like Greg Morrison, myself, Liz Herrera, Stephen Floyd, Joe Fletch, you've heard tonight, would be a steal at $20,000, but guys, it's nowhere near that. If you go to omgmachines.com/Becker, you can get signed up. $499 on a 16-month payment plan. Once you're in, you're lifetime members. But you know what? I know that if you want material like we shared with you tonight, you'll find a way. At $125 a week, it's literally less than what a McDonald's part-time employee makes. And, you know, you're going to keep hearing me say this quote, but, man, it really bothered me when he said it. He said, Cotton, with entrepreneurs, the reason the 1% succeed, he goes, it's never about their lack of resources. It's about their lack of resourcefulness. If you want to be an entrepreneur in the easiest way possible, where there's no brick and mortar building, there's no products, there's no employees, and you can get started for as little as $125 a week and make the type of money that you're seeing hundreds of people that are on income reports, then you'll find a way. This is the best, and I'm telling you, it's the easiest way that you're going to see to come up with $499. What happens, I have a special guest with me, and what I'd like for him to do is to come on right now and just tell you why you should join OMG. And I think you guys have heard of him before. You might know him. I'm going to let him introduce himself and see if you can figure out as it goes. Come on in. Why should people join OMG?
Well, if you're thinking about changing your life and you want your life to improve for the better, then OMG, for me, hands down, is the best possible option for that. My entire life has changed 110% when it comes to when I joined OMG up until what I was doing before. If anyone on the webinar doesn't know who I am, by the way, this is Gregory Ortiz. I do a lot of work with Alex Becker and a lot of work with the guys from OMG. And pretty much, for anyone who doesn't know kind of the background of my story, I used to be a department manager working at Bed Bath & Beyond. So I was working about 60 hours per week, and I hated it. There's something to be said about every single day that you come home, you're hearing from your wife, hey, our son did this today. He learned how to say this today. He did something brand new that you've never seen before. And it got to a point where I was sick and tired of hearing of all the new things he was doing, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to stay home for Mason. So that's my son's name, by the way. So what I did was I put a piece of paper over my computer, wrote on it, stay home for Mason, and I said to myself, well, how am I actually going to go ahead and accomplish this? What am I going to do to make sure I'm able to stay home for him? It's one thing to have an idea on wanting to be able to stay home for your child or for any other reason you might have, whether it's to get out of the rat race or just, live a better life. But it's another thing to actually take the step to go out and actually do it. So I actually stumbled upon a webinar, funny enough, which is exactly like this one. For those who don't know the story of when I first joined OMG, what happened was I was looking online on how to make money online, and I came across a YouTube video with Becker. And funny enough, I clicked on the YouTube video just to see what it was about, and Becker was just being outrageous. He was cursing, he was making me laugh. It was like, who the hell is this guy and what does he do? So I went to his website, went to SourceWave, and funny enough, I signed up for the email list right then and there, and that night they were having a webinar for OMG, a sales webinar just like this one. Some people say it's fate, I call it perfect timing, but pretty much I watched that webinar, was completely blown away by the stories I heard from Greg Morrison and Fletch, who at the time were on the webinar, and I went ahead, grabbed the only emergency credit card myself and my wife at the time had, and booked OMG on it. Now, I didn't tell her because I had a feeling she would kill me, which I knew she would. But I went ahead and I booked it because I said to myself, you know what? It's one thing to say you want to make a change in your life. It's a whole nother thing to actually go out and make that change. So I went ahead, charged on the credit card, and to be honest with you, I've never looked back since.
It's an amazing story, guys. It's Gregory Ortiz. Give me a hashtag Gregory. You guys all know him from Source University. Gregory's been in there a while. We haven't heard from Fletch a lot. Fletch, I want to take the time for you to just kind of share with people why they should get inside of OMG. Then I'm going to throw it over to Alex, let him close it out tonight. If what we've shown tonight isn't enough to just get you excited, get you pumped up, to leave you sleepless of what could be inside, what more we have. But Fletch, I know you always have some inspiration to share with people to kind of push them over the edge. Fletch, if you're there, you're muted still.
Oh, sorry, God.
There you go.
Yeah. Honestly, SEO has come to mean a lot of different things to me over the last 4 years. When I started, it was a way for me to earn a lot of, kind of extra cash and, get myself out of a predicament that, I guess I got myself in with a construction company, but, when people go look for, heart surgeons and cancer treatment and things like that, the results they're going to find are things that we control. And this is a very, very important role we play in society. And it's, like the Wild West as far as results are concerned. So, as far as I'm concerned, this is the most important thing I can be doing. I really look forward to seeing people that join take this with, whatever degree of severity and, importance they see in it. But, yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's a ton of money, but at the same time, there's a lot of, seriousness that we can kind of bring to it. So, as much as anything, that's kind of where I come from. So.
Thank you, Fletch. Becker, we brought it, man. This is as good as I could give it to you for tonight. If people don't want to get in after what we've shown them tonight, they're just not ready to get in. I don't know what else to say.
Well, throw me the screen because I have something to say.
Hold on.
There
we go. There you go.
All right, cool. So guys, I'm just going to sum it up real quick. The first thing I'm going to show you is just all the people that have gone through the OMG webinars from SourceWave, just in particular, and gotten results. So everybody who's seeing this webinar right now, I'm just scrolling down this page right here, and this is everybody that's came. People have made millions of dollars. You're going to see Greg Ortiz on here. You're going to see Colin Grammer. He joined from SourceWave in 2013. You can see Mary Semmer. All these people just goes on and on and on. I almost can't. I can scroll down this page for a good almost minute, and all these people that have gotten results. Every single one of these images you can click on here. I'm actually going to send out this page tomorrow so you can go through it with all the updated money reports that came in from SourceWave. This is actually just one that we used almost 2 years ago when we were doing this webinar, and it's still absolutely humongous. Okay, so one thing I like to talk about at the end of every one of these webinars, since we only do this once a year, and here's the thing. If you join us, you're going to be probably going to OMG Live this year, and you're probably thinking right now, is this really the best place for me to be? Is this guy really promoting this thing in my best interest? And I'll tell you this, every single year I go to OMG Live and open it up, and I see an audience full of hundreds of people that I've literally put in the OMG. I think they had close to 1,000 people attend this time, and hundreds of people there were from SourceWave. And I talk to these people, I talk to every single person on there, and I say hi to every single person. Everybody tells me how happy they are to be there, how excited they are. Most of the people at OMG Live paid for their flight, everything to get there with the money they made in OMG, and everyone is just pumped. It's really nice to be able to go and put your back behind something to just get such good results for people. So when you join here in a second, you're probably going to be seeing me face to face 6 months or 8 months from now, whenever OMG Live is, and I'm going to say, wasn't it a good idea? And you're going to tell me it was an amazing idea. And I really want to go and push you over the edge right now because of that very reason, because I want to see you, 8 months from now, 9 months from now, the massive success. I wouldn't know Greg Ortiz. Greg Ortiz wouldn't be in Source University coaching if I had not put on these webinars. He would not be making $100K a month. He might have. I think he would have found success eventually, but he would not be in OMG right now and probably not be the coach at Source University. I haven't had in there. I'm not going to take credit for Colin's success, but if he had not hopped in through OMG during SourceWave, his future could be very different right now. That's why I'm going to push you hard to do it, because right now, Greg was working at Bed Bath & Beyond. Colin was broke. Fletch, he wasn't in one of my webinars, but he came in through a webinar, and he sold his car to get into OMG. And look at where they're at now. So that's where I'm being kind of pushy about this. And we really need to talk about the elephants in the room, because there's probably a bunch of things in your head you think are holding you back. You're probably thinking, does this work? Does this program work? That page I just showed you, plus all the testimonials, you're not going to see any program on planet Earth that consistently gets that type of results. None. Zero. None. Go find any product out there and see if they can fill a page with people that say they would have paid $100K and it was the best decision in their life. You won't. And you're probably thinking, will this work for me? You see on the last webinar, you see on this webinar, if you go to that page, there's all walks of life in OMG. You're going to see people that grew up poor, people that grew up rich. You're going to see people that are old. You're going to see people that are young. You're going to see women. You're going to see men. You're going to see teenagers. You're going to see people that joined from SourceWave while they were in the military, active duty, and deployed, who were actually able to join OMG and get out of the Air Force. Or actually, yeah, I think Scott was able to get out of the Air Force and throw him a SourceWave webinar, come in and build, a 10K, 20K, 50K per month business. I forgot how much he's making right now. You're going to see people from all walks of life. It works for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are or where you're coming from right now. So you can't use that excuse not to hop in right now. You can't use the excuse maybe it doesn't work. That's undebatable. It's just a fact. If you apply the information in here, it works. Will this work for me? It's undebatable. It works for everybody. And you're probably thinking, well, the last question is this the best place to be? If you want to learn how to be a doctor, this is not the best place to be. If you want to be a lawyer, this is not the best place to be. If you want to be an SEO and be among the best SEOs, this is the best place to be. The only thing holding you back right now is there's no elephants to this offer. It undebatably works. It's undebatably the best place to be, and it undebatably works for anybody. The only thing holding yourself right now is that you won't bet on yourself to actually go and take the action when you hop inside. I know it's $4.99 a month, but you are working with, just in this webinar alone, you got Fletch, you got Joe, you have Cotton, just in this webinar alone. Not to mention Stephen Floyd who's inside. Greg Ortiz is always hanging out in there as well. You have the best client-getting SEOs on the planet that share the information, sitting here right now, showing you exactly how to go and get clients. All you have to do when you hop inside, yeah, it's $4.99 per month. Go and get one client. Go balls to the wall and say, you know what, I'm going to make this work. Make 2017 the year where you say, you know what, enough is enough, like Greg did when he was going and working at Bed Bath & Beyond. He said, enough is enough. I'm going to do this shit, and I'm going to get it right. And you know what he did? He hopped inside of OMG. He's a millionaire now. He's a fucking millionaire from doing that. So what you need to do is you need to say, look, this is a little bit expensive right now, but I'm going to go in right now and I'm going to go balls to the wall this month. I have the best information on planet Earth to do this. If this does not work, I'm not doing the work. All you have to do is go in and put in the work. That is it. So bet on yourself. Take the $499 bet on yourself. Bust your ass the next 30 days. Get one client at $500 to $1,000 per month. Easy. Easy. I literally met some guy who was working at a valet the other night. I said, Alex, I saw your videos online and I got my first SEO client. This guy went and got SEO clients just going out there and doing that. You go out there and use this best information, you can go and get 2 clients, 3 clients, 4 clients in 1 month if you just go out there and freaking kill it and execute in 30 days. Bet on yourself. Now, that also being said, guys, if you hop in right now, I'm going to throw in a few cool bonuses. I'm going to let you into Source University for a month. And if you know, we just increased the price to $997. I'm going to let you in for 6 months. We just increased the price to $997, so you don't have to pick between university or OMG. You're also going to get Source Hunter for 1 year at the base level. It's $190. You're going to get Source CCS for 1 year. Base level $67. It's $670. You're going to get the full AB level Black Archive, which costs $3,000. It's a training where I show everything I do behind my businesses, all the marketing behind it. And on top of that, I'm also going to get you into the full AB Academy, which is actually this. I'll show you in the next webinar right there. But it's complete training of how I run all my email marketing, all my advertising, everything I do. This is all going to get wrapped up and delivered to you with OMG. So not only are you hopping in with the best SEO information on planet Earth, you're also hopping in with all these bonuses. That's almost, I think, $4,000, $5,000 worth of bonuses in real value, not just value pulled out of my ass. So that's what I got for you guys. You need to make the decision right now if you can bet on yourself or not, because there's nothing wrong with the course. There's nothing in here preventing you jumping in and making results. The only thing stopping you from jumping in and getting results is you. So if you can't bet on yourself, if you can't have faith in yourself to go through and put in the work, that's fine. Don't sign up. If you can't bet on yourself, don't sign up. If you can't have faith in yourself to actually go and do the work, don't sign up. If you can bet on yourself and you can say, you know what, if I have the best information on earth, I know so many SEOs are waiting for that one magic bullet, that one information, that one thing that's going to put them over. This is the best information. There's nothing past this. You have all the answers to the test, and all you have to do is go use the answers. You have the full knowledge. You have everything laying in front of you. All you have to go do is use the answers and bet on yourself to go and use the answers. So that's what I got for you guys. If you want to be an SEO, you commit to SEO, and this is how you commit to it. You join the Harvard of SEO, and you start taking this shit seriously, and you actually put a bet on yourself to follow through instead of playing around floosey-goosey, mental masturbation-wise, and maybe getting it right, maybe not, you know? And as a real quick example, I knew I wanted to start and scale software companies. For example, Market Hero, you know, that's already, I think we're like $300,000 in sales this month alone, just from the start of the year. And what you need to understand about that is I knew I wanted to scale that company up, and I knew I wanted to do that. And you know what? A friend of mine, Russell Brunson, scaled his company, ClickFunnels, to multiple $1 million a month. And so you know what I did? I bet on myself to go through and take the action if I had the best information. So I went to him. I paid him $25,000. He told me how he's scaling ClickFunnels. I'm doing it the exact same way to scale Market Hero. I knew that this was the best information I had to get, and I took the bet on myself to take action and go through it. Except, you know, I only had 2-3 hours talking to him. You have these guys sitting with you every single week, Monday through Friday, telling you exactly what you should be doing, answering your questions, and telling you how you should be operating. If you cannot succeed on those, you are not applying it. That's it, period. You're not applying it. You're not executing. So, guys, Con, what's the URL again? I think it's omgmachines.becker.
Yeah, it's omgmachines.com/Becker.
That's the URL, guys. This is going to be closing down Thursday night after the webinar, so some of you guys might need to go figure things out right now, but the countdown is ticking. Thursday night, it's done. That's it. This is the last time you can get in this year, and you're going to be looking back the entire year wondering what if. So that's what I got for you. Look at all the people that joined from SourceWave, Cotton, Gregory Ortiz, all the people on that page. I'm going to be sending it out to you tomorrow. There's no debate that this works. There's no debate that this works for anybody. The only people this doesn't work for is people that come inside and don't put in the action, don't put in the time to do this. If you can put in the time to do this, this will work for you. That's what I got, guys. I'll see you at OMG next year. And we're going to be closing down. How many people here give me an exclamation mark if you really enjoyed this webinar? You got a lot out of it? Yeah, tons of people right here. Awesome, guys. We're going to be closing this up on Thursday, breaking down we're going to blow your mind all over again Thursday night. So we will see you there. Take a day break. Think about the stuff we're talking about in these webinars. Watch the replays. We will see you Thursday night. And Cotton, Joe, Greg, Fletch, thanks for hanging out tonight. And that's all I got. Let's close this down.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Becker.
All right, guys, I'm going to leave the URL up here for a few minutes. You can go check it out, and there you go. We'll leave it to you.